You may have heard about a little SFM animation called Scream Bloody Fortress. Or perhaps even not, because it seemingly blew up one day, and then everyone absolutely forgot about it afterwards. In fact, I only heard about it this year, and it's 5 years old at this point. It came out very shortly after the 5th annual Halloween special and follows the story of Scout, Sniper, Soldier and Heavy at Merasmus Wizard School. They mess around and eventually steal his Bombernomicon and accidentally summon the Skeleton King from the Hell Tower map. Oops. If you haven't seen it yet, here's the video in its entirety. You know, just a silly little fan-made video based on the update. And for a fan-made project, it's incredibly well made. Lots of good animation, models and ideas. And it came out just 2 days after the update launched. Hold on a second. 2 days? That can't be right. Yes, it's alarming, isn't it? What if I told you that this innocent fan movie was actually not made by fans, but rather by Valve themselves and you just never knew it? Yes, my theory is that Scream Bloody Fortress is a leaked, unfinished SFM trailer for the Halloween update of the same year. Bold claim, I know, but who would I be if I didn't bash on Valve News Network for over-speculating if I didn't over-speculate myself? Well, seeing as this is more of a quickie video and no one really cares about the intro to a video anyway, let's get right into the meat and let me show you all the proof I have to back up that statement. And then at the end, I'll tell you why I think the video got leaked in the first place. First of all, there are a ton of custom-made models and textures in the video. Like Merasmus, whose mouth isn't even covered by a scarf unlike in the game, but who is fully animated. Other things are the Wizard School, both the interior and exterior, which both have a lot of details like the shelves, the chairs, also the blackboard, the paper dolls, alphabet, Sniper's pens, Scout's ears, and of course the giant tower that appears at the end. Really, that's a lot of work for such a simple video. However, there's also some models that I think were not custom made for this video, but rather unreleased ones from other official TF2 videos. Such as this crushed can of Bonk that Scout throws, which seems to be identical to the one from Expiration Date. And speaking of Expiration Date, the video also features the red Brand van with the same exact bullet holes, broken windows and dents. And look, apparently it also appeared in Meet the Medic. It's possible that these exist in the game's files somewhere, but I don't think that's the case. I'm willing to bet 20 German bucks that only Valve employees are able to get their hands on these models. Furthermore, the entire thing seems to take place on a modified version of Hightower. This cobblestone texture, for example, isn't in the final version of the map where it's just dirt or gravel. Granted, it's possible they quickly changed it to make the transition from the tower to the map more fluid, but it doesn't stop there. Take a good look at the actual Hightower itself. How come that you can see this doorway from the bottom of the tower? You can't do that in the final version. In fact, the tower seems to be missing massive chunks, such as the front part of it. Why even change all that just for a video? There's no point because the final map works just as well. Unless the creator was using an earlier version of it. Let's keep going. What about the never heard before TF2 theme track?
Oh, damn it! No! Real smooth, dummy!
Okay, sure, SFM artists use custom music for the videos all the time, that's not really evidence yet. Still a bit fishy, considering it sounds just like something that Mike Moraski or an equally as skilled composer would come up with. But what about the voice lines? I don't recall Scout ever having said this in the game.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Nor do I remember Sniper using this voice line, which even seems to be cut off at the end.
Take a morsey!
Or Scout's holy crap!
Holy crap!
While he does say it often, he never uses that exact voice line.
Holy crap, we're ranking up! Holy crap, we are awesome! Holy crap! Holy crap, this goes on forever.
But this one that he says.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
This one I have definitely heard before. But where? Where?
You listening? Just, oh god! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
Oh, right, yeah, meet the sandwich. Alright, no biggie, they just ripped it from the video. But then, how come Scream Bloody Fortress doesn't also include heavy screams and footsteps? Those would be incredibly hard to filter out. Unless they used the original lines, but how could they have gotten their hands on them? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The entire thing seems to be animated using motion capture, which isn't exactly easy to obtain and use for an hobby animator. Granted, it's been done before, Practical Problems did it just fine, but not every average Joe has access to it. Wait, hold on, Practical Problems? The video that came out 1 year before the Halloween update, which was also made by the same dude that made the End of the Line video, whose about page directly states that he worked for Valve at one point. Oh, and what's this? Valve apparently used motion capture for Expiration Date too? pacing and the humor, especially the part with the Raising Tower, reminds me a lot of Valve. Alright, that's just my opinion and not really any evidence. But I have a question for you. With all the effort that went into this video, all the models, textures, music, animation, why is the final product so lackluster? The lighting is incredibly simple, even non-existent at times. The audio is bad with a lot of missing sounds and ambience and so on. It's like they just stopped making the video after they were almost done with it, but why? Alright, maybe they rushed it before the event was over. After all, it came out just 2 days after the update even launched. But just 2 days? Who makes all of this custom content in just 2 days? It would require an actual team to do that, and even then, 2 days is not nearly enough time. They must have had to prepare everything in advance, but that would have required them to know what would be in the update. I mean, even the channel itself is fishy. It seems like a throwaway account. It has a generic name, no profile pic, no other videos, no activity, and was created the same day that the video was even uploaded. Why not upload a video that's still good despite all the flaws on the main channel where it would gain much more popularity? Well, my answer to these questions is that this video was in fact just an unfinished trailer for the Halloween map, that it was leaked by one of the guys that worked on it or the TF team themselves even. This is highly likely considering that Valve loves communicating via leaks instead of using more logical methods like, oh, I don't know, talking to the community directly for once? Now, but why leak it? Compare the story of the video to the one from the actual Scream Fortress update. There's no mention of the Mann brothers, but there's a much higher emphasis on Rasmus, who isn't even in the final map. My theory is that this trailer was made while the update was still in its kiddie shoes, before they expanded on different ideas. The original idea was likely that the mercs stole the spellbooks from Erasmus, who then wanted revenge. The Bombernomicon in the trailer was probably just a placeholder for the actual spellbooks. This would also explain why they even exist in the game mode, considering they just randomly appear in the current version with no actual reason. If that's the case, then the announcer would have likely also been Erasmus and not the Mann brothers. The Skeleton King himself also probably played a much larger role, more something like the Horseless Headless Horseman and less like the minor nuisance he is now. He was likely supposed to look more like he did in the video, instead of wearing nothing but a crown, and also using his sword to attack people and not his bare hands. I theorized that the cosmetics that you see in the video were also placeholders, but they weren't able to finish his actual cosmetics in time, so they ended up removing them. The Cliff House was perhaps also supposed to be the Wizard School, mirroring the events from the video. I mean, if you take a look at Hightower, you can see that it looks like a really rushed map that's barely different from the real one, except for different lighting and some spooky towers haphazardly thrown in there. So either things didn't work out exactly as planned, like no good or working ideas for the Skeleton King, or they thought of something more interesting, that is the Mann brothers going to hell, and then made it about that instead. The final product is much more interesting in my opinion, though I would have loved to have played against the Skeleton King from the video. He just looked more threatening and menacing. But this raises the question, what other videos from Valve did we also not see? I mean, Powerhouse was supposed to release with the game, MVN was in development for years, and now this video, all things we didn't even know about. There's probably entire maps, weapons, game modes, maybe even classes we can't see. Kinda makes me wanna work at Valve just so I can look at all that stuff. Hey guys, yeah, great to work here, hi game, and that's all great, so where's the hidden TF2 stuff? But, as much as I hyped in this video, all of this is just my speculation. I think I made a couple good points, but I might be completely wrong about some, maybe even all of them. None of this is confirmed, so don't take it as fact, and certainly don't harass anyone about it. I mean, of course, guys, this is huge. This means that a Team Fortress 4 might be coming very soon in the future. Just kidding. But hey, it's just a theory. And now to thank my patrons. One True Ma, Alexis Chavez, Dr. TNT, Frozen Spaghetti, Mac Cannabis, Oleg Andrev, Ren Marty, Zachary Leclerc, and as always, Xenomite. Thank you for your support. You can also support me by subscribing, donating to my Patreon, or just watching my video. Anything is appreciated. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, have a wonderful day, and Happy Halloween! I already did the joke.